So we'll get started. Thanks to all of you for joining us today. My name's James Tansey. I'm the Executive Director of the University Sustainability Initiative and a professor in the Sauder School of Business, and very happy to welcome you all to this session this afternoon. Before we start, I'd like to acknowledge that we're gathered on the traditional, ancestral and unceded territory of the Musqueam people. We have a very full house today. We've had over 170 people registered for the event, of which 98 are students. And we really hope this afternoon inspires you through the work that our student teams, our scholars, have undertaken over the course of this summer with our partners. As you probably all know, we have a keynote speaker now, and then we have breakout sessions that are being led by the teams that worked over the summer, clustered into themes. So we're going to move quite quickly through this session and then out into the breakout rooms around the building. This program's been growing since the very early days when we sent 10 graduate students down to the city of Vancouver. The original program was called the Wood for Students program. So we did a deal for the bioenergy project on campus where we would send students to the city and the city would send us wood waste to go into the bioenergy facility. And it seemed like a pretty good trade at the time. From that program, it's expanded now to over 50 scholars with a number of different institutions, and it's become one of the cornerstones of the sustainability program. It's really the platform where we take what we learn in graduate programs and in research laboratories on campus and really try and apply it in the context of what the cities and our other partners are doing. The goal is also to help students gain professional experience with those organizations and exposure to some of the issues that those staff and those organizations face. This year, with the launch of UBC's Wellbeing Initiative, we launched City of Vancouver Healthy City, the launch of the City of Vancouver's Healthy City strategy. We also extended the program to include students not just working under the sustainability program, but under this broader wellbeing initiative. The sessions, as I said, are organized into themes. You can have a look at your program to see those themes. And very much look forward to hearing your feedback on those and the questions that you raise to those students. Before we start the sessions, I wanted to thank Karen Taylor for organizing this event today with the support of the rest of the team, the USI staff who helped to organize this. We're testing out a new live streaming technology. That tiny camera there in the middle of the room is broadcasting this to millions of people around the world who are sick of listening to Donald Trump's crazy tweets and want some sort of optimism. So there could be 1 million people behind that camera. It's fantastic. And then also, last but not least, thanks to the students for taking on these scholars initiatives, for working so diligently with our partners and being such great ambassadors for the university. So it's a great pleasure to be able to introduce Sean Pander. I can't remember how long we've known each other, Sean. Over a decade, working on sustainability initiatives at UBC and with the City of Vancouver. Sean's a professional engineer with a background in urban planning. He graduated from Resource Management and Environmental Studies program at UBC. I know there's a number of RMES students in the room and in our scholars program. If you work hard, you can end up like Sean one day. He was a senior energy and climate planner for the City of Vancouver from 2003 to 2009, which time he established the city's climate protection action plan and green building strategy. He also oversaw the policy framework for the city's district energy program, and in 2010 he managed the development of the 2020 Green City Action Plan. So he's a busy guy, and we're very lucky to have him here today. We've been very actively involved in talking to the city about the new green building team tasked with transforming the built environment in Vancouver. In parallel, UBC, under John Madden's leadership, is developing a green building action plan. So lots of parallels in the development of those. And there's a major initiative underway, which I'm sure we'll hear about today, looking at Vancouver's zero emissions building plan. So I'm going to hand it over to Sean to speak for about 25 minutes, and then we'll have 10 to 15 minutes for questions after that. So please join me in welcoming Sean back to UBC.
seems like it wasn't actually that long ago when I was sitting on that side of the table, or the chairs, as it were. And I really forgot what a fabulous campus and what a privilege and how much I enjoyed my time over here at UBC. So not only that, but I was also tasked with establishing the Sustainability Scholars Program at the city. So I had the privilege of working more closely with the students for the first couple of years as I fostered that moving forward. So really, really excited to be here. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about sort of the work we've been doing recently, not as a thing in itself, but hopefully as to provide some ideas of how to go about being an effective agent for change in the world. I'm going to talk about green buildings. Not everyone here is going to be as passionate about green buildings as I am, but I think the lessons are transferable. They're not universal truths, they're just some insights I've gained, in particular working on this project. So who am I? How did I get here? I think these are really good questions. Students should ask themselves that, but it was good for me doing this presentation, preparing. It is important, actually, when you think about yourself, you're doing studies, it's academia, but how does that transition into really effectively changing the world around you? That picture in the upper left-hand corner, that was my first job coming out of engineering school. That's a pipeline in Columbia, so I was a pipeline engineer for the first 8 years of my career. Now, this is not going to turn into a story about atoning for all my evil sins and whatnot, which maybe it could be, but that's not what I'm talking about. Really, why I wanted to introduce that is that right from the get-go, I had an engineering degree in mechanical engineering, I was working on a crude oil pipeline, and it was the best foundation to be an effective change agent I could have asked for. One of the things that's really important when you want to go about change the world, there's the passion for the change and the ideas that you want to introduce, but you've got to bring a practical skill set to the table. And so as a pipeline engineer, I had a phenomenal grounding in how to move through a bureaucracy and get approvals to spend money. I got a lot of background in project management, team management, budgeting, timelines, all that really concrete, tangible skills that I can bring to the workplace in my later career. But it also began to introduce me to all kinds of opportunities. Okay, pipeline engineering, you do a lot of oil, maybe you clean up spill, this is not that great. But within the pipeline, even though my job was not a change agent, everything I touched created opportunities. Some examples of that were, as an operations engineer down in Chicago. I'm coming to Chicago because it's an important part of the story. But as an operations engineer, we had this huge field full of pipes. They were rusting. They were capital assets. We couldn't just get rid of them because, accounting systems couldn't go, well, what happened to that asset? You can't just erase it. And so I was working with Ducks Unlimited at the same time, and they needed a whole bunch of culvert pipe. This is pretty heavy-duty pipe for culvert, but we arranged a deal. I sent the pipeline crews out. They said, we need pipe here, here, and here. I'm Sean Pander. We created a program where throughout the entire company, when we wanted to get rid of excess pipe that we can no longer safely use, we could use it for wetland rehabilitation. I did projects on energy efficiency, fundamentally changing the design and operations of the pipeline. Again, not my job description, it's just, I came across, why are we doing it this way? This makes no sense. We could do it this other way. Oh, yeah, let's do that. That work took me to Chicago. There's Chicago up there. Chicago was really seminal in changing sort of what I wanted to do with my life and bringing me here right now. Because when I moved to Chicago, I grew up on the Canadian prairies, and I moved to a city like Chicago, and I was stunned. The city looked the same as cities I knew, just bigger, more glass. But it felt fundamentally and functioned fundamentally different from any city I had ever experienced. And it functioned in ways that were way better than I could ever imagine, and way worse than I thought humans could possibly live in. And I was really confused. Okay, I'm like, engineer, but my personal life was this, what's going on? This is so amazing and so terrible and so compassionate and so inhuman. And why was that? I got very, very curious about how cities could be fabulous or terrible places, and they could be fabulous or terrible for people, but for the environment as well. And I started to explore those questions, and then I had this discovery. It was like this lightning bolt. There's a whole career called urban planning, and people think about this stuff. And I'm like, wow, that's great. I was really excited. And so I began to learn more about urban planning. I developed this whole theory, you might have heard of it, it's called new urbanism. Of course, other people have developed it before me, but when I found out other people had the same theory, it was really, really exciting. As a change agent in a big bureaucracy, I started to wrestle with questions. Wow, I am putting a lot of my emotional and personal energy into changes that are good, but they're small and it's not really my passion. And I thought, you know what, if I'm going to invest this much, I should do something I really, really care about. And I was excited about this urban planning, and I said, okay, I'm going to make a shift. And I looked around the world. My wife actually was really calm. Anywhere in the world you want to go shop, anywhere at all, as long as it's in Canada, and I'll still sleep with you if it's in Western Canada. It was great. But I had friends living here in Vancouver, and at that time, there was a big public dialogue about Southeast Falls Creek, being a small, sustainable community, and my friends were like, we don't know anything, but that's all the stuff you need to know us about, you should check this stuff out. And so I chose to move here. And I came here and I started working against my will at the UBC Sustainability Office. I didn't actually want to work, but the director there, she's like, I just wanted to find out the scene in sustainability. She's like, you're hired. I'm like, no. This isn't that information interview where I'm actually trying to get a job. I'm just trying to get away with it. No, you gotta come work for me. And it was great, because what that did was I ran it on the ground here with a network of contacts. The urban leaders, none of the names you probably recognize, because they have done phenomenal work with on. But really got me grounded here, and then I moved on to my studies. One of my thesis advisors was the director of planning for the city of Vancouver at the time, Larry Beasley. I finished my degree, defended, and he said, Sean, you know all that stuff you're talking about your thesis? If we're trying to do that in the city, let me come work for us. So, let me use this greenest building, green building as part of the Green City Action Plan as a sort of case study in effective change making. You know, we've got the ambitious goal of becoming the green city in the world by 2020. We do a whole story of how that plan came to be, and some folks in the room that were central in actually pulling that together. But really, from that, we moved on to the renewable city strategy. The objective of the renewable city strategy was to, let's see if we can have all energy used in the city by 2050 come from renewable sources. And a really important part of that plan is to have all buildings in the city use only renewable energy, all new buildings use only renewable energy by the year 2030 or sooner. So, this is Vancouver's zero emissions building plan. Now, I get excited about my work and get carried away, but this is actually a plan that is transforming how we think about design and build buildings. It is a fundamental shift, not just happening here in Vancouver, but it's being sort of replicated across the province. The federal government is now getting very interested. We've got the UN saying, ooh, we should have buildings all around the world, do what you guys are doing here in Vancouver. It really is, and it's actually, it's kind of threatening to me because here I'm how to build pipelines now, try to figure out how to build buildings. But the change is the shift away from how we've done buildings for the last 50 years in North America and around the world, where we were really compensating for poor design and poor construction and using like a silver bullet, plug and play, oh, that's technology, we'll just plug this thing in, flip the switch, and it's all going to work, which is great. It did kind of work, but it uses phenomenal amounts of energy. And it was really a fractured way of thinking about buildings. Oh, we'll build this part, we'll build this part, we'll build this part, and then we'll plug something in at the end and it'll make it all work. And really the transformation that's underway right now is actually moving away from that reliance on high tech at the front end and really focusing on good integrated design thinking, a real focus on the quality of the construction of the building, and those two approaches alone, instead of focusing on how energy efficient is the equipment we're using and where is it getting its energy, it really starts with how can we have healthier, more comfortable buildings that use 70% less energy. And then that last 30% will introduce some technology, and there's a lot of innovation happening in that space. And that really is what's happening right now. And again, not just in Vancouver, but across the entire province. So one of the first things I did when I took on this role and I got this mandate, I was kind of going, oh, zero emissions buildings. Well, how do we measure that? Oh, there isn't that, you know, lots of people talk about net zero energy or zero emissions, but what's the metric? How do you measure that? Now, it turns out in Europe they actually have a measure, and it's kilograms of carbon per meter squared per year. Great. When I started talking to codes and standards people who write regulation on that, what? Are we measuring? Why are we measuring that? And I really was like, well, mandate is to have zero emissions from buildings. Maybe we should measure emissions. It seemed pretty simple to me. Oh my God, the arguments I have across this continent to do it that way. And I'll tell you on another slide about how we got to here. But I show this as A, we've got a metric and it's important to measure it. And B, we actually have been making some progress in the city. This slide shows 2014 under some recently adopted policies. The aggregated average carbon intensity of new construction weighted by area developed per year is now down to 12 kilograms per meter squared. And when we started at 21 in 2007, we've been making some progress. Almost all of that progress is in detached housing. The commercial, high-rise residential, not so much. So I thought, if we're going to do this, this is a big, hairy thing, and I started talking about, well, maybe we should just set a hard limit on greenhouse gases. Oh my God, people's heads explode, you can't do that, because of this, because of that. Very, very complicated. I got very confused because I didn't understand what we were building. And then I thought, well, I got to back up and go, what are we building? And what I learned was 82% of the new development in the city of Vancouver is residential. And then all of a sudden the conversation changed. Oh well, if we're just talking residential buildings, we're not talking hospitals, police stations, and theaters, and like the 82 major types of buildings that get built in North America, and it's really obvious. We're just talking about three types and they're very similar in many regards. This we can do. We can set a hard limit and actually write a standard around it. Those are exciting. But looking at the tools, great, now we've got a metric. What are the tools we use currently for energy efficiency and climate? The city had long been, oh, we just require more energy efficiency. Surely we'll be getting greenhouse gas reductions. We just thought it was obvious. It's just going to happen. Then we started digging into the major standards. There's a standard that's used across North America. 75% of the jurisdictions in North America use it to regulate energy efficiency in larger buildings, commercial buildings, high-rises, offices, that sort of thing. It's called ASHRAE 90.1. What was really interesting to me is, okay, I'm trying to get greenhouse gas reductions, but ASHRAE is an energy cost efficiency standard. No correlation to energy use, and absolutely no correlation directly. I mean, by accident in some jurisdictions, it might relate to energy use savings or might relate to greenhouse gas reductions. So it was like this fundamental piece we rested everything on, actually didn't do anything in correlation at all with what we wanted to have happen. This is an interesting slide. What this shows is this is the same building and how much more efficient that building would be according to ASHRAE 9.1, depending on the energy prices of the year in question. So if you built this building in 2006, given the cost of natural gas and electricity, it would have shown up as 44% more energy efficient than the code at the time. Now that exact same building in 2013 would have just barely kept you out of jail for building. Exact same building, exact same standard, just given the price differential. And that is how energy efficiency was being regulated in North America. Had nothing to do with energy use, definitely nothing to do with it. And what we learned also was it led to very complicated mechanical solutions, which weren't very reliable in a residential setting. And, by the way, natural gas is way cheaper than electricity, so the best way to reduce energy costs is stop using that renewable stuff and use more natural gas. Great, the harder we push on our number, the more greenhouse gases went up, not down. Oops. So how did we come to this plan? Because we've already begun to enact this plan in regulation and policy, And the first step we took, with the development industry cheering us on, reduced greenhouse gas emissions compared to a code-built building by 70%, no incremental cost to construction, and no incremental cost to operate. First step. Now the next step should be much harder, but it was a piece, and the development industry is cheering the change. But how did we do that? How did we get to a plan that allows us to take such an aggressive first step? First of all, I didn't know anything about buildings, so I just started meeting with people. I met with people in the development industry, I met with people that design buildings, I met with all kinds of people going, what are we doing? What's working? What's not working? And started to form opinion, A, about who doesn't actually care about change, and who actually cares about change and knows something, and figuring out who I should be listening to more than other people who say, oh, you can't do anything, it's just fine. The next step we did was we actually gathered the key stakeholders. And if anyone runs a process, of course they're stakeholders, but we did it in a way that they weren't stakeholders. We did it in a way that said, these are the key stakeholders, and we will treat them as partners, as fully invested in this change. What we did with those key stakeholders, and it was like the development industry, the homeowners, the Home Builders Association, DC Hydro. So the province who informed me as part of this process, couldn't formally participate just yet, and said, what data do we need to inform decisions? Let's agree on the research by which we will argue, because what happens in processes like this are, oh, I have this data, you got that data, the two data points don't have any correlation, then you argue whose data is right, and you get tired and eventually agree somewhere in the middle regardless of the facts. We thought maybe a better way would be, why don't we all have the same information available? So we agreed on the scope of the research. We agreed when we do the consultation, who should be in the room. We had the brightest consultants and engineers on envelope and mechanical systems, and they're saying, yes, we can do this, and it's cost effective. And the development industry said, yeah, but only the really expensive and fancy buildings work with those guys. These are the guys most people work with. What will they say? Well, let's put them in the room, and we'll let the experts do that and see what they say. Funny enough, the stuff that the experts and the high-end guys were saying, the bread and butter consultants said, yeah, we can do that. So that was really important. We did some analysis, we came to some conclusions, voila, the zero emissions building plan and a white paper for the provincial step code. And that wasn't an accident. What we did was we gathered the right people together that we knew would be part of a formal provincial process, had a smaller conversation that wasn't bogged down with a whole bunch of people who didn't know the issues, agreed upon, oh, here would be a good structure for an energy step code, turn that over to the province, and they said, this is great. And ultimately, it fundamentally became the provincial step code, which now, more than just Vancouver, local governments and institutions across BC are looking at adopting very extensive. So, in a nutshell, the zero emission building plan has four main elements. There's step limits that we introduce into regulation and code. We'll come back. There's support private sector leadership. There's demonstrate public sector leadership, and there's building capacity. Now, what's interesting is normally government regulation just starts with not step limits, but just, oh, here's the regulation. Here it is. Here's one point in time. This is it. And again, energy cost efficiency percent better than some reference building that had a whole bunch of inefficiency cooked in. But what we did was we defined specific outcomes. Greenhouse gas was our main target, but we wanted to get away from these complicated mechanical systems. So we said, let's base this on the heat loss from the building and overall energy use. But not only did we set specific limits by building type, but we said, and here is how we are proposing to change them over time. This type of building will have to do this today. This type of building 5 years from now will have to do this. And it created a very clear roadmap, a very specific roadmap for industry. We had that multi-jurisdictional alignment. The other local governments were totally on board. The provincial government has codified that approach. Very clear about how those would change over time. And one of the most powerful things was people were like, okay, great. Big developers are like, the regulations now have to do the regulations 5 years from now. Okay, it's nice to know. I need to know, where are we headed? Because if you're talking about this fundamental change in place by 2030 or sooner, I actually have to start figuring it out right now. And one thing that was really important was to articulate the near end state in a very simple way. It's not some obscure number, it's not this or that. We said, you know what, we're going to regulate, and it's going to be pretty close to passive house. We should start figuring that out quickly. So that's great. Regulate a roadmap of specifically how those regulations would change, but we realized that change had to happen too fast. If we did not start working to encourage the private sector to build the end state today, we could never get there that fast. It would be like 2040 is 2040 or 2042 is about as quick as we figured you could use the state plan steps and regulations. If you weren't solving the problems of 2025 today, because those things take a little while to resolve. So we said, we better get these private sector leaders and we better let them charge ahead. And we'll work with them to go, uh-oh, what's not working? So we started to, this passive house idea, we didn't know much about it, this was back in 2011, but we said, well, everyone says I have to do these names, so we'll have lead gold, but if you want to do passive house. And actually opening the path, the crack to that idea that you don't actually think is going to get broad traction, turned out to be pretty useful. One of the reasons you have to support the private sector leaders is it turns out actually to build a passive house in the city of Vancouver, you get arrested for it. Because there's a whole bunch of regulations that make it illegal to build the buildings we want to have. So it's a bit of work, but what we started to do was we said, work with us. We won't throw you in jail, but we'll try to get you out of jail. And when you come across those barriers, flag them for us. We'll resolve them for you, but then we can change the laws and everything that make it legal so that you can build the buildings that the world wants to see without getting out of jail. Because that actually limits your leadership pool if everyone who does this is thrown in jail and pretty soon have leaders. Anyway, we thought that was a very good idea to change. So develop incentives, there's upfront buildings, there's risks that they don't understand. There's actually incremental costs to the end state. We're not requiring the end state today, this is why it's in like 2025 or 2030. But we've all seen the cost of phones, we see, the cost curve of change comes down quickly, but someone's got to start. And we said, we'll work with you on that. And we have to develop a lot of capacity. Third thing, and it really flowed out of the second thing, was that, wow, if we want to work with the private sector, we better start building city buildings to this. And so now all city-owned and Vancouver Affordable Housing Agency projects have to pursue passive certification or alternate zero emissions building approach where it's feasible. And that is, the city's pretty committed to that. But actually getting to that step was quite challenging. And one of the challenges in doing that was, our people who had to build these buildings were like, whoa, when did you really have it? We tried that before in the village. Dog's breakfast. We can't do this. And what we did was we brought in those few private sector leaders that were already building passive house buildings. And I said, I don't know how to answer your questions. And we had them talk to our facilities people and say, yeah, that problem comes up all the time. And on one project we solved it this way, the other project we solved it that way, the third project there's another way to solve it. And it gave our people the confidence to not have AC fit before I went to council and said, oh, this should be a standard thing. It was really important. And when we do this work, let's document what was the incremental cost? What design mistakes did we make that other people should avoid? And let's publish them. I know I'm going to run out of time. One of these things I got excited about, it looks like kind of like two little stumpy Empire State Buildings. This is a rezoning application that's in the city today, which would be a 44 and a 42-foot story passive house tower. Two of the not two biggest passive house buildings in the world. And we've got a developer who is seriously committed. I know this is going to be complicated. I'm willing to work through it. Leadership, and build capacity. One of the things I learned in my job was we kept getting all these awards for these plans and these policies. Oh, these are the best policies in the world. These plans are great. We got invited to Stockholm, New York, and all kinds of places to receive these awards. And then I had staff going, oh, these plans are great, Sean, but you know what? There's no processes, there's no tools, and there's no people actually checking to see if the buildings are being built the way all these plans, policies, and regulations are. That's a bit of a problem. And so what we started to do is invest in capacity, staff training. We spent now 190 staff through at least one full day of passive house training. So this is the kind of buildings you're going to start seeing. Here's how it's going to affect your life. You guys should talk amongst yourself. Let's figure this out. We sponsor external training through PCIT, Council Canada, not just for design, but also for trades and construction. We're investing heavily in design tools, best practice guides. Oh, when we say you have to build an R22 effective wall, what does that look like in a 6-story building? Well, like, there's 3 ways you can do it. Here's why this is good. Here's some examples that aren't so good. We're investing in public education. Folks were down at the Olympic Village over the summer, but we did the Ice Block Challenge just to start doing public education, quality construction, and why it matters. What's interesting here, and it wasn't our intent, but we had 2 houses. One was built to a DC energy code and one standard code. One was built to passive house, right? You know, the one built to the standard code, of course, stays melted. The one that was built to passive stays hardly melted. But when we pulled the houses off, because it was so smoky out, the one that was built to code, the little bit of ice that remained was covered in soot. Whereas the one that was built to the passive standard was just, you know, glowing and all that speck, and it was just so, air was so much cleaner, and it just, yeah, it was just like, wow, that would have been a great story for fun. So training, zero emissions, building, construction innovation center of excellence. One of the things we've learned looking at international best practices is create platforms for the industry to collaborate with each other and build your incentives that draw people. If you're going to put money or permissions or whatever forward, create that expectation that they'll share within their industry groups. And we're building a zero emission building center of excellence to foster just that. All right, so now that the world's all saved, what are we up to next? Just a couple more changes in the green building world that this starts to lead to that I'm excited about. And I'm just crystal balling here now. I can't say for sure. But what we realize is, oh my God, operational emissions from buildings are going to be really low. This next generation of buildings coming up. That the embedded emissions, like the greenhouse gases produced in manufacturing the materials to build these buildings, are as big or bigger than all the energy used in the building over its entire life. Well, who's working on that? Oh, no one. Oh, it's a bit of a problem. So we started to require, not to regulate, but we just started requiring people to calculate in a sort of established protocol way what the embodied emissions of the building they're building, what those embodied emissions are. So that 10 years from now, we can have a rational regulatory system that says it's not just about how you operate this thing, but it's how you build it. But why that's exciting for us here in Vancouver and here at UBC is, I'm guessing, what we'll start to see is a lot more tall wood. Because the greenhouse gas from the production and transportation of concrete in the world is 5 times greater than the entire airline industry put together. 5 times bigger than the entire airline industry put together. So the energy and emissions associated with construction is huge. No one's doing anything about it. No one's really talking about it at a regulatory table in North America. There's a few jurisdictions in Europe that are starting to go bubble. So not just tall wood, but the prefabrication of panels, the quality control, the waste reduction, the energy efficiency, the cost efficiencies through prefabrication of building elements will be phenomenal. And the broad comments here at UBC was just a real inspiring new building. Great. So if you guys are at all interested in green buildings, hopefully this was exciting for you. But embedded throughout this were lots of lessons for change. First of all, you've got to do it now. You can't just have this good idea and say, hey, let's go do it. You might get a few people excited, but it's going to go. One thing I know is it really, I mean, people hate it, but you got to figure out some way of measuring it and showing whether things are getting better or getting worse. So analysis of metrics, it's not just about passion. You've got to actually do some work. I cannot emphasize enough, like, we could write a plan, nothing would be happening if it was just me. If it was just the city of Vancouver, nothing would be happening. Really, to make fundamental change, you've got to have meaningful collaboration and have to depend so much on listening and fundamentally on trust between the players. You know, the leaps I took, I have to get you guys, you know, trust me where we're going with this. I think I can get council to agree to this, but we got to go this way. And industry trusted me through that process, that I wouldn't screw them in the end, and that we could develop this thing together and it would work for both sides. The importance of a compelling and clear vision of where it's all going. Simple. Passive house is not the answer. I don't know if we'll ever go back to passive house. But it's close to what the answer looks like. And instead of writing a plan that talks about why passive house isn't exactly where things are going to end up, and confusing everybody about this issue, we've got to worry about this, we've got to worry about that, we've got to worry about those other things, I know we've got to worry about that stuff. No one else, well, a few other people have to worry about that stuff. Most of what people need to know, start thinking about passive house. We're going to be 95% of the way there. And once you got that under your belt and you're moving along, I'll start to introduce a bit more of the complexity that needs to be dealt with. Follow the leaders. Again, if there weren't private sector leaders and we weren't encouraging them, we would be where we are right now. And not just follow them, but support the leaders. And finally, great plans win awards, global awards, this queue of awards from all around the world of the work we did. But if you don't actually build things and change the way you build things, and you don't have processes to make sure that's happening, and you don't have tools to support and training in place that make it all happen, you're going to fall on your face. My final thought, we often overestimate what we can achieve in 1 year. Greatly underestimate what can be done in 5. This picture's a little bit dated, but you can see the same skyline looking across Candy Bridge in the 1980s, and there it is in the 2000s. So that's the ground of work. Thank you so much.
Just go back to that previous slide, Sean. I'm just wondering if the city if you can explain what you did to encourage boat ownership in Vancouver in that period, because that seems the biggest change.
Well, this was a toxic slough.
Right.
And this isn't quite as toxic. Back in the 2000s, you could actually anchor a boat and live there year-round and have no permit, pay nothing, dump their sewage into the creek. So if we showed it again now, there would be some boats, but not quite so many. Because it's not a toxic slough anymore, at least if you don't get down to the bottom and stir up the muck, but not quite so many boats.
Okay, so let's get some proper questions from the audience, not some smart ass questions. So who'd like to ask Sean some questions? We've got about 10 minutes. Jen and John, how about? Jen.
Sean, I'm just wondering, is there a risk in a change of leadership, political, like there's the staff and there's the council, and you keep working away, and if the council changes, is this all going to turn into nothing?
It won't all turn into nothing, I don't think. Part of the process that we've done, the industry's excited. We've got other jurisdictions now adopting sort of the most advanced. We've got other, now that there's a provincial framework, the step will be in place. There's 4 other jurisdictions saying, oh, we want all buildings to perform like Vancouver's rezoning requirements. It's like, I think also with the political leadership, Vision Vancouver, who's been controlling council, had been very aggressive on this file, but we had COPE support, we had MTA support, we've had a lot of support on our work on sustainability and greenhouse gas reductions for quite a long time. Maybe not quite as aggressive, there might be another priority if there's a change of leadership, but this work, it's really driving job growth. It's a phenomenal driver of job growth in the city. When TED Talks used to be based down in California, and they were looking for a new home because they found that wasn't an environment that fostered a free exchange of innovative and groundbreaking ideas. They looked around the world and they said, okay, we have to be in Vancouver. And that's in part because of the green and sustainability things that are happening here. Not solely that, but it's really in part because it encourages that. So economic development wise, the other thing, what I tell you about the changes we're talking about are like fundamental health outcomes. Like if we keep building the way we build high-rise towers, we looked at how fresh air moves throughout the building and how we do ventilation within these buildings. We started looking at it from an energy efficiency point of view, but right now, how we provide fresh air in high-rise towers, we warm up the air, we pump it into the hallways, and we let the fresh air enter the units through cuts, we call them door undercuts, but your door doesn't quite come right down to the ground. That's how we provide fresh air. So there's some unexpected consequences if we do that. One is that if you live on the upper floors, it's great, you've got twice as much fresh air as you need. Unfortunately, if you live on sort of the bottom half of the building, you're chronically underventilated, not nearly enough fresh air. But there's a silver lining. We suck carbon monoxide out of the parquet and we give you that instead of fresh air. So instead of oxygen, we're giving you plenty of carbon monoxide. We're slowly poisoning you all. I would not encourage anyone to live on the lower floors of buildings. So what we're learning is not just is there a ton of economic development opportunities associated with the changes we're bringing forward, not only is there momentum outside Vancouver, which will be getting very hard, not only do we have a history of support that's nonpartisan, but the health outcomes of the changes we're introducing are enormous.
Another question? Question from the back. Who was first? Yeah.
I was just wondering what type of work you're doing to align kind of design guidelines and other city policy and rezoning processes with the Green City Action and Zero Emissions Building Plan.
Yeah, well, that's a big question. I mean, partly what we did was we looked at, say, as we wanted to see passive houses, we wanted to see more insulation. What we realized is, the walls are going to get thicker. In a single-family neighborhood in Vancouver, where it's really expensive already, thick walls mean you've got less occupiable space, and we realized that was a problem. So what we started to do is say, great, if you're going to exceed the code and build these thick walls, we'll create exemptions. We won't count that against your floor space. Not only that, but we'll allow a relaxation in the backyard that says, okay, you can actually, if you've got these thick walls and we've exempted it, but there's nowhere to put it, well, you can creep it in the backyard a little bit. We created height relaxations. There's a lot of design guidelines around the city to make sure buildings stay neighborly and don't cast shadows on each other and don't have this imposing mass for such a little tiny house. But we created some relaxations to accommodate that. We've also got processes in place now within the city to look at, that wasn't modeled under the current, North American standard. It's a passive house model. We know it's going to be way better, so okay, we'll accept that. That is an entirely separate conversation because the amount of processes and regulatory changes we had to put in place behind the scenes and continue to work on is enormous. And that's one of the reasons we want to encourage these leaders, because new building types try to do this and they run into different regulatory problems. So we've got to resolve those.
Question there, and then gentleman at the front.
Thanks very much. I say this, I have such a bit of ignorance about the depth of the zero emissions plan, but the example you mentioned about the existing high-rise buildings, that speaks to the wider problem of the existing building stock and where we take that from in terms of a zero emissions pathway. Is that part of the plan? Are there solutions yet now conceived of how we will address the existing stock problem? I think
you're a council plant. Well, a plant from council. That's the question I'm saying. Okay, it's all great, new buildings, maybe we've got this figured out. There's still a lot of work to do. We have been looking at it, and it's not by accident to get all buildings and all energy in the city to renewable by 2050. The first and most important move was on new construction, because in new construction, you don't have occupants that you have to move in and move out. There's profits being made. The city has regulatory tools, and really the general approach, and we're going to be vetting this with other stakeholders soon, but is if we can get new construction to zero emissions, and the windows are available, and the heat pumps are there, and trades know how to do an airtight building, and we've got heat recovery ventilators, the market is ready. The design community, the supply chain, the construction community, that forms the foundation. And what we realize is actually we have the tools in place now that when it comes time to pull out your furnace, you can't put a 1950s furnace back in your house. A, you can't buy one, but B, it's illegal. And so to address the existing building stock, we will be encouraging early leaders, but I think the least disruptive and most cost-effective way of doing that will be if we get the industry practice through new construction to zero fast, then existing buildings, when it comes time to pull up their furnace in 2032, oh, it's got to be a zero emissions furnace, we're going to have to put in something different now. And the cost effectiveness of that at a building scale, depending on what type of building, right now it doesn't quite work out, but the cost curves for those technologies are changing fast enough. That'll work. There will be a challenge though, because pulling out a furnace and putting in a heat pump, one uses gas, one uses electricity, and they call on different infrastructure, both outside the building and inside the building. So we're starting to go, oh, how will we, and whether that's through regulation or change or whatever, that type of change is coming. And we're starting to go to the province, to the federal government. It's like, you guys keep talking about this. Do you realize we've got to understand those upstream and downstream impacts before we can make people or expect people to do that work? So we're starting to map some of those barriers and the tools we have to be proactive in removing those.
Question from the front.
Hi, thank you very much for the talk. I live in Falls Creek Cooperative Housing, and one of the things that we're doing as we're exploring a 99-year lease renewal is both looking at retrofits or possibly community utility methods for generating energy, and as well as then looking at future new development,
Right.
As well as a part of revisioning what Falls Creek South might look like.
Yeah.
And so one of the things I was wondering is your partnerships with BC Hydro and our discussions with BC Hydro. When you talk about renewables, are you only about looking at passive, moving towards passive buildings in terms of new construction? But when you looked at your earlier slide, we still have a lot of old construction, right?
Yep.
So I'm just sort of wondering what's being done in that area.
Well, again, we're looking at getting the industry and the technology and the envelope and mechanical systems, that real leading engine work. When you speak globally, actually some of the leading thinkers on existing buildings are quite concerned, because if we just pursue a 15% energy efficiency improvement or a 15% reduction in greenhouse gases, you're locking into a technology that is very limited, and we're starting to go, whoa, and there's great practices coming out of Holland on the combination of how you can retrofit an existing building on its envelope and then complement it with a small scale photovoltaic system and do renewables there. There are a lot of challenges in replicating the retrofit examples from Europe that we're trying to wrestle through, and a piece of the work we're working on next is finding that balance of where do envelope improvements fit? Because they're very disruptive, they're very costly, hard to do, tons of co-benefits, but you've got to move people out or not, but it can be very disruptive to the tenants. And that balance between improving the mechanical systems and the fossil fuel burning equipment and the envelope, because it will need a bit of both, but again, where new construction, it's like 70% envelope, 30% equipment. I think in existing buildings, it'll be the reverse. It'll be 30% envelope and 70% equipment.
I think let's go through the last question from the back.
Okay, well, the plan seems to be based on review of development permits. I hope I'm right about that. But, and correct me in your answer if I'm wrong, but there seems to be a lot of shoddy construction that goes on in this city with a lot of cut corners. How exactly will the plan verify that a permit that says it's going to be built to passive house is in fact built to passive house? And what sort of teeth does the city have to ensure compliance?
We've got a lot of teeth to ensure compliance, but you're right, and that was my final slide. We've won awards for plans, policies, even regulations, but until 2011, and no jurisdiction in North America has done this well, actually, and the only other jurisdiction I can find in North America that's actually working actively on how do we check the plans to make sure they comply, and then how do we check in the field that what is supposed to be getting built and installed is actually getting built and installed. So we've been working on those systems. Washington, D.C., by the way, is the other jurisdiction that really is like, oh my God, we can write all the regulations we like. Well, they can't write the regulations we can, but unless we do enforcement and compliance. And so some of that, an example of it is in detached houses in 2014, we required like a big step up on energy efficiency performance. We said, oh, you gotta have a U1.4 window. Okay, great, passed the regulation, there was all the fights in City Hall, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, the industry settled down, and okay, we gotta start building this. Yes, we can find the windows, someone's making them, blah, blah, blah. So we started asking our inspectors, so how's that going? And they're like, how's what going? Like, the new windows, the U1.4 windows. We have no idea. What's a U1.4 window look like? We don't know. Well, we don't know either, because the U1.4 window could look like this, or it could look like that. And what we started to do was looking at how windows are labeled, and is there a standard for the labeling, and is it followed? It didn't take very long. What we did was we said, okay, great, we told everyone, you gotta label your windows accurately, we're gonna check. And then we did a blitz. We pulled 30 permits that were like undergoing building inspection in the field, and we said, wow, 15 of you, stop construction, pull your windows out. What? Like everyone's freaking out. But they weren't mad at us. Like the architect, the builder spec the windows. They just got shipped, and they either weren't labeled or they were labeled incorrectly. It was a really quick fix, but it takes very much your mindset. It's like, who's looking for what? How do you check? And where we used to be like 95% policy, 5% follow through, where really it's about a 50-50 split in what we do now. There's policy development, and this is like, the tools in North America for compliance with energy efficiency standards are really immature.
One very last quick question and a quick response. How's that? Tim? Just
this has to do more with the process of where you were, where you got. So a lot of these impactful and effective solutions come from an interdisciplinary background. So my question is not only how do we get the same industry to collaborate and talk to each other, but how do we create that middle ground where people from different industries, different backgrounds can sort of come together, share their knowledge, and sort of take the next step? How do we create that space? Do you have any advice on that?
Well, that sounds like a PhD.
in 1 minute. In 1 minute.
Yeah, in 1 minute. It's very difficult, I think. I think what is it they call need is the mother. Necessity is the mother of invention. Is that it? Yeah. And I think what's happening now is the pressures on affordability, health, homelessness, resilience, earthquake preparedness are bringing people together of different skill sets. I think in the work we're doing, partly is we set those standards, and it is bringing the mechanical people and the envelope people together to talk about, oh, the systems actually have to work together. We can't just build this and then fix it with this. It's like we have to actually think this through. So that's at a disciplinary level within the engineering and architecture fields. One of the things we have within the city, within sustainability, we've got an artisan residence, because one of the things that's most important, and I didn't talk a lot about, but it's, if I could emphasize, like having great ideas is only half of it. Your ability to communicate your ideas appropriate to the audience is half of the battle. It's got to be compelling. You've got to speak language people can understand. In terms of the change, a lot of the audiences I address, I can speak to, because you get a builder going, "Oh, what do I do with this?" I'm like, "No." They did it successfully in other places. You got to hook them up with the right people. So I don't have that answer for you. It took more than 1 minute.
That's right, you're good.
It's my best.
It was a good answer. Okay, so please join me in thanking Sean for a fantastic presentation. As you can see, there's a lot going on in the city. There's a lot going on the campus, and we're going to hear more about that cross section of projects in the session that starts at 2:05. So we have a short break now to get to the rooms. The sessions are going to be in the BC Hydro Lab, which is this room, and the two rooms outside, which are imaginatively called Policy Lab A and B. We would ask that you try and stick to the start time in those sessions, the start and end times, because they're quite tightly packed for presentations. So please grab your seats before the presentations start. And the last panel session will end at around 4:45. There isn't anything formal planned after that, but please do stick around and enjoy an opportunity to network in the lobby. I hope you enjoy the rest of the sessions this afternoon and some of the great insights from those panels. And thanks to all of you for coming to this session this afternoon. That's great.